Hey there, hi there, Taurus, and welcome to your December reading. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started at this beautiful new deck, Crystal Visions Tarot, okay, by Jennifer Galasso. So, I am going to do a reading for you for the month of December. All right, so let's see what's up first. Ooh, we have the High Priestess. Wow, Taurus. Beautiful energy coming off strong. I feel like you are very intuitive, a Taurus. There's this beautiful priestess. She's got angel wings. It almost looks like she's sitting on like a moon, like almost like a platform. She has a scepter with a crystal ball, a crown, beautiful necklace, and there's butterflies flying all around her. I feel like you are stepping in like into a new like era of this like Taurian energy where you're really starting to like see your truest self, your intuitive self, your most, glamorous self or your most beautiful self. I feel like you're no longer holding back anymore. Oh my God, the Fool. Yeah. You've been on this journey for a very long time. Okay, Taurus. You have stepped like in front or out into the world. And you're not afraid to take that leap or that chance and on yourself. And you have gone from this beautiful, like, just soul being in the world to now your truest, most highest self. And the butterflies flying, fluttering all around her. This is, I feel like she's, a dancer. She has this beautiful, like, or aerialist. She's got the ribbons and the dress on, and it's very flowy. And you can see the reflection of the water below her, and it's just this beautiful energy of feeling free to fly, feeling free to expand your wings and test the unknown. Okay. Oh my God, strength. Yes. Wow. Three major arcanas in one reading so far, in the beginning so far. Very high, powerful energy. Okay. Your intuitiveness is paying off here big time because your strength here is your endurance, and nothing can about that can be matched. Okay. Yes, of course, there are other divine, soulful beings in the world that you can find yourself in alignment with. I feel like it's a very strong energy of like strong female energy, strong women in your life. You're aligning with them, they're aligning with you. The strength card, this woman, she also has a scepter. She has a lion as her familiar, as her pet. I always think of Narnia, because I watched that growing up, and I know that story very well. And I'm spacing on the lion's name, which is so funny because I used to like pretend that I was in the land of Narnia with my siblings who would pretend Aslan. Yeah. And it's just a beautiful story. And it's also a Christmas story, too. It takes place in the winter time. So, and there's sunflowers here. So there's like this contrast of summer and winter. And I feel like there's also eagles soaring above her head. And I've just finished watching Lord of the Rings when the eagles go to save Sam and Frodo, and Gandalf is on one of the eagles, and a moth turns into an eagle, and there's butterflies here, but I just feel like it's like another symbolism of this going from this small, very fragile creature that you can't even touch its wings, right? Because it'll just take like that. There's this like powder on them, and it will harm their wings. And I feel like you have this like very fragile, delicate energy, but it's also a fierce energy that can transform into, the rare, majestic bird of the eagle, the roaring, wild lion or lioness, right? So you're drawing in this great strength. There's sunflowers, another symbol of the sun, of summer energy. Um, and you're not afraid, like in Narnia, like the children are the main characters, and they're young and they're innocent, and I feel like you hold on to that innocence, that young childlike energy. You're still playful at heart, right? But you have very strong intuition, and you are a very strong you have very strong moral and characteristics and character. um, so there is no question about that. You're just an overall beautiful soul Taurus. I feel like it's good to hear that validation, that you are supported, you're feeling loved, you're feeling um, accepted for who you are. Oh my God, look at this. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, 4 major arcanas in a row. Wow. Yes, your fortune is multiplying. I feel like you're on this good fortune side right now of things, as you move into Christmas and into the new year. You're really starting to see what your hard work has done and how it's paid off. Okay. The high priestess, she's intuitive, she's wise, she's a leader, she doesn't hold back. She knows when to observe, and she knows when to move into a new energy and in a new time in her life. And that's really what you're doing. The Fool is indicating you are stepping into that new phase, that new journey, that new time in your life where you are drawing on all your strengths, where you're no longer holding back. And the Lotus, I love how the Wheel of Fortune sits like pretty much like hovering above the lotus flower here. And it's, a new time for you. There's the dragonfly, butterfly. There's this cute, adorable little aardvark on top of the wheel. Um, and in the number 10, and it's just like, you're a 10 Taurus, and I feel like what's unfolding here, what's grown here, is that you have persevered, you have pushed through whatever difficulties and challenges and obstacles that you have faced over the last year. And you've done it with this beautiful intuitiveness that you hold within inside yourself. And also this like the Fool energy here, I feel like is like a playful energy. You can be serious and strong, but you can also be fun and playful at the same time. You can also be quiet and calm and collected. And this is where your fortune resides. And I feel like you have this beautiful alignment right now with yourself and with others in your life. The wheel here has all the different astrology signs on it, and I feel like you're tapped in. You're really in it now. I'd also I would really like to know what the spiritual meaning is behind like an aardvark, because that's just such a rare, interesting, kind of quirky animal. Next year I definitely have to get like the spirit animal tarot cards, and look into that. represents diligence, introspection, and the pursuit of knowledge. And look, we're pursuing the knowledge of the meaning behind it. That's interesting. Right. Spiritual meaning, deeply rooted in ability to dig and search for hidden truths. It symbolizes diligence, introspection, and the pursuit of knowledge. It's also nocturnal nature, which the high priestess obviously is very like nighttime, midnight, after dark, like, you know, that part of ourselves that comes out like in our dream world, or in our subconscious and our intuitiveness. So that's very interesting. And it's a survivalist, and it's open to new experiences and trust in your spiritual journey. Look beneath the surface and explore your inner world. And that's what I feel like you're doing. Like the Fool, she's dipping into the subconscious, into the deeper meanings behind life, and there's like a pool of water beneath her, and I feel like that represents your emotions and your consciousness and your feelings. And the aardvark's resilience and resourcefulness teaches us to adapt to life's challenges and to find strength in solitude. It also signifies the importance of curiosity and the ability to navigate through darkness, offering guidance and support in our spiritual exploration. And that's what you're doing here. You're continuing your spiritual journey. You're continuing your spiritual exploration. You're still looking for answers. And a lot of the answers that you've already found within yourself, I feel like you're like a detective, right? And the mystery is you. And what are you going to solve about yourself? And you, as you end this year, you find that you have this high priestess energy. You're very intuitive. The high priestess is also very mysterious herself. The Fool energy, that playful inner child, that one willing to take a little bit of risks, willing to take a little bit of chances here and there. And the Strength card, of course, again, you know, you are a strong character here. You are a strong moral character. Like, you are a strong moral character. And, you know, probably had dreams, maybe even when you were a child, of walking through a tunnel and the light at the end. And it's this beautiful, like, vast valley and landscape of like rolling meadows and mountains and ranges, and there's a lion there waiting for you. And I feel like this is your fortune. Like, your fortune is knowing yourself and being able to trust yourself. Okay. So now we have this Page of Wands. Oh, I'm glad this card came out. I love this. This is a dragon sitting beside this girl, this young woman here, and she's playing on her flute, it looks like, and there's a crystal ball or a bubble and 3 candles. Beautiful, like, sunset happening behind her. Okay, you this instantly reminds me of like Game of Thrones, like Queen of Dragons, those characters, like Khaleesi. But this is maybe like a little bit more modern take on it. You definitely, you know, Khaleesi definitely was a high priestess, you know, in her own regard, in her own sense. But I just think it's like you are this like dragon rider. Like, you're not afraid to ride this like the beast of life, right? Or like this wild energy that's like chaotic and breathes fire. It's like your own passions, your own sacral chakra, your own fire. And you can play such a delicate instrument like the flute, and there's this roaring flame, okay, about you. It's not just like a tiny small lit flame. Like, maybe a candle is a smaller, more realistic representation of this creativity and this spark of life burning within you, but you're still not afraid to, you know, play your own song, right? You know, listen to what music and sounds are coming to you, and hear the messages that are being sent to you. And you're not afraid of a wild creature like a dragon, right? You know, you're mesmerized by it, or it gives you power, you know? And it's, again, another symbol of your great strength. Okay. And we have here the Knight of Pentacles. So a man riding in on his horse with a staff with a pentacle. There's some crystals, like a beautiful fairy tale forest, Prince Charming type of character. Okay, so it's not like this big, bold, like fierce energy, but it is this maybe sort of balance between, you know, um, all this beautiful, powerful energy that resides within you, Taurus, and then the charming prince or young man or a masculine energy that could be riding in to let you know that they do have feelings for you, and the start of a journey with this person. Okay, they could be part of your love story, love line there. Okay. And look, it goes from Knight of Pentacles to the King of Pentacles. So maybe you met your person when you were younger. Maybe you both were younger, still trying to figure out who you were in the world, what you really like, what skills you like. I feel like your souls both met when you were like in similar stages of your love line, and like figuring out like your love story, or like who you are as a romantic partner, or who you are as like a life partner, something to do like soulmate energy. But you both were young, and this grew, maybe this Knight of Pentacles grew into the King of Pentacles, right? Or maybe you're waiting for this, right? You're still in the early stages of the relationship where you haven't fully seen each other's potential, but maybe this young knight, he's still just a prince, right? He hasn't become a king yet. Maybe you're still a young princess who hasn't become a queen yet. Maybe you're just in the dating stages. But I feel like what strengths and characteristics you have under that like fair maiden or fair damsel in distress, because let's face it, as women, we're always viewed as like the vulnerable, weak ones that need saving, right? But then the prince never wants to save us because he's just immature, and the charmingness is really just a facade for narcissistic, can't even say it, toxic narcissistic behavior. Okay, we're not going to get into all of that, but you really do want someone who can grow and learn and mature over time, or are already grown and learn and mature underneath, but they still are in that spiritual transformation. Okay, but somebody can have this King of Pentacles energy. He now has a wand with a crystal. It's gone from a pentacle to a crystal. I feel like that's a great point of, like, that's a great, way of looking at younger people in today's society that really are like, if you watch Love is Blind or Married at First Sight, yes, they want to fall in love and they believe in that, and that's like a very soulful, spiritual type of energy to be in, but they're always money driven or money focused, right? A lot of them are very materialistic, and that's why a lot of women don't like them, and that's also why a lot of women do like them, and then there's all these other things in between. But money seems to be a main like discussion, right? Like, he doesn't make enough money, or does he have potential to make more money? I feel like you're looking for someone who, do they have potential to transform their life and become deeper and more soulful, more spiritual? Yes, they're gonna always, be dealing with money and finances. There's a pentacle on the king's belt, but he's already like won that battle. He's like, yeah, there are going to be days when I'm broke, or there's going to, maybe not broke, but there's budgeting, there's the cheap days, there's the, savings times of year where it's like, okay, money's tight this time of year because we still have all our normal bills, but now now it's Christmas, and we want to celebrate Christmas and make sure everybody gets something, and we have all these relatives, and we want to have fancy dinner and go to movies. So, there's extra expenses around the holidays. But the king, he's like already got that down. Like, he's like, I'm aware that there's going to be extra expenses, but I already got a plan to cover those. And now I'm like focused on like the quality of time and soulfulness and spiritual, like, just, relaxation, resting, relaxing, connecting with others. I feel like crystals have such a deep, so again, and also you can see there's crystals even in the forest where the night has entered. So I feel like he is on that quest to find that deeper meaning in life. He's already aware of, this energy that money brings to relationships and to life. And sometimes it can cause harm. Sometimes it can cause great reward. And he is also wearing a necklace with a pentacle on it. Okay. So he doesn't come empty handed, when it comes to like sharing in financial responsibilities. But there is still this energy around this story unfolding where his character is still growing and learning and seeing what his future self will look like, and working on that and moving towards that. Whereas you have already gone through a lot of different transformations, high priestess energy, full energy, strength energy, wheel of fortune energy, and then back to the page of wands again. It's like you can see how all of these different energies affect you and how you can draw from them to be successful in life. And it's just a beautiful thing overall. So if you were wondering about a soulmate connection, there it is for you. And then we have death. Wow. Oh, vita. It says vita mater non tolier. That sounds like Latin. You have the angel of death. You have this woman who's like silver and gray laying on the stone, butterflies and light descending or ascending. So there, and these flowers beneath her. So it's Wheel of Fortune and Death. Yeah, it's again another transformation, another rebirth, another going from life to death and back again. You're not scared of the shadow or the darkness of the world or death or any of that. You can just accept and embrace it as part of life and part of the cycle and journey through time and space. And it's not something that you're scared of. I feel like in your dreams, you are probably being faced with challenges and obstacles that could very well, if real, result in death. Common ones are like giant floods or tsunamis, like drowning you, or zombies chasing you, or worried about your children, or feeling chased or vulnerable or scared. These are all very common things, like nightmares to have. But I think that overall, you're like, I accept it and embrace it anyway, because it is part of life. Death is that other side to the equation. It's something very real that can happen. And when you think of it from a metaphorical perspective, it's like sometimes you have to go through a phase or a time in your life where you're putting everyone else's needs before yours. Okay, I know that as a mom. And then you feel depleted of all of your energy. You just are like, oh my god, I just feel like a husk of a human being right now. Like, I need to ignite my soul again. I need to ignite my passions again. Like, I need to feel alive again. And in a way, I feel like, and that is happening. It is coming. So let's take a look here at these other cards. I got this other deck here, the classic tarot deck. Okay, and we're going to take a look here at that. Okay, got my little assistant Luna here helping me out. So I'm going to draw 4 cards for you. Right, Luna?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the cards that came out, we have the Strength card again. Okay, so we've got some synchronicity coming through, which is a beautiful sign from the universe that you are aligning with your right path, you are aligning with your goals, and now is the time for you to really celebrate and enjoy that. Okay, so we have here Strength, upright, courage, passion, subtle power, persuasion, influence, inner strength, focus, and compassion. Okay, this is a fire element of fire, so there's that passion again. There's the number 8, which symbolizes infinity. It says here power, strength, and control. Okay, and if there was a question on your mind of what to do at this time, I'm getting the sense that it might have to do with, like, is it time for me to take some time for me? Is it time for me to do some self-care, some self-love, and really get back to, making myself feel good again? And the answer is yes. Okay, absolutely yes. Okay, and reversed, you might have some inner strength, which is amazing. You might have some self-doubt, weakness, insecurity, low energy, raw emotion, struggle, and pride. Okay, so I feel like you do have a lot of pride in, like, lions or lionesses. They have a lot of pride in the way they look. I feel like they're very, like, majestic creatures. And I feel like you want to take more pride in the way you look, the way you dress, especially with the holiday season here. Don't misinterpret trusting your intuition. Like, if your intuition is telling you something's not right, don't misinterpret that as, like, a sign that you shouldn't keep focusing on yourself and focusing on what works for you, and what's going to make you feel better, because I think that's just another sign of your body telling you you deserve this break, you need this time for rest and self-love and self-care, and take it, okay? Because it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And the other 3 cards that came out are the Lovers, which I definitely, Taurus, was getting like a soulmate energy from your reading, especially with the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of, was that Page of Wands? I think it was the Page of Wands here coming through. So you and your person are probably still, you want to be a couple with them. You want to be together with them. And they probably want to be together with you too. So let's see what the Lovers card says. This is the element of air. So we have balance, home, and responsibility. The answer, yes. So if you're wondering, should I give love a chance? The answer is yes. Upright, love, harmony, relationships, union, partnerships, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, a choice, the strength of 2 together. Right? And reverse self-love, see, disharmony, imbalance, misalignment of values, suffering, detachment, obedience, conflict, bad choices, indecision, fear of commitment. Okay, so I feel like if you are ready for love, but you're meeting some resistance, take that time for yourself. The self-love part of this is actually a good thing. If you're not getting along with somebody, take a break from them. See what happens. Maybe there's someone better waiting for you on the other side. I definitely recommend watching this movie if you're a mom. It's called Oh What Fun, and it has Michelle Pfeiffer in it, and it is so hilarious, and it is, like, so on point to describing and showing, like, real, like, a little bit of, like, an exaggerated sort of, like, version, but honestly, like, very real exaggeration. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's really good, though. I definitely recommend watching it. It's a holiday movie on Amazon Prime. It's called Oh What Fun. It's so good. Definitely worth watching. Okay. And we have also here the Hierophant. Okay. So for any of you who are, this is a spiritual card, or it could be a religious card. Christmas time is definitely mostly, goes with, religion, Christmas, the baby Jesus. and all that. And I'm just cleaning up a little bit chaotic over here at the moment. So the Hierophant, institutions, tradition, religion, society and its rules, social approval, conformity, forgiveness, bonded, mercy, wisdom, trust, maybe. So I think if, like, you're not like an overly religious person, or you're not like really into like institutions or conformity, then don't put a lot of energy and time don't put a lot of energy and time into being around that or in that environment. Instead, look at things. If you're a spiritual person, then focus on that and doing what makes you feel good, and tapping into your process. Okay. And it says here, the energy of the unexpected. So, try something new, try something different, or try something unexpected. And then we have reversed personal beliefs, freedom, going against the grain, unconventional, foolish, generosity, frailty, unorthodox, hypocrisy, blind faith, and misconception. Okay. So, it's always good to have your own personal beliefs. Stay away from foolish people. Stay away from, people who aren't generous, like the Scrooges and all that. Don't hang out with those types. And it's Earth sign Taurus. So it's got that Taurus energy for you, okay? And I find like you're a very strong person, a very strong moral character. But if you're more of a spiritual person like I am, then hanging around super religious people is not going to be your cup of tea. So don't do that to yourself, okay? If that's not the way you celebrate Christmas and the holidays, if you're more into like Santa and the Christmas elf and the Grinch and Chevy Chase in A Family Vacation, the Christmas one, then like that's what you like, then just go with that. You don't have to like watch any movies that you don't like, or hang around people that make you uncomfortable. Okay. And then last but not least, we have the Chariot, and this is the element of water, and that's again those feelings and emotions and intuitiveness. Okay, willpower and control. This is the Chariot. Okay, definitely advise you to stay away from people who try to take away your willpower, your right to have boundaries and feel respected. Don't be around types like that at all. Do yourself a favor and just keep company with people who aren't trying to seek control and power over you. Okay. The Chariot: movement, progress, action, integration, determination, willpower, control, direction, departure, and courage. Another form of strength here. A lot of courage themes, a lot of love theme, like a lot of self-love, keeping care of your body, taking care of yourself. Forgive those, trust in yourself. You have the wisdom and the power you need to be successful. Self-discipline. You have a lot of self-discipline, Taurus. Opposition, lack of direction, lack of control, aggression, arrogance, and carelessness. Okay, so again, choosing who you spend time with. You don't want to be around people who are careless, or not respecting you and your space and your time and your energy. So overall, beautiful reading for you, Taurus. Just keep staying true to yourself, like I know you guys do. You're very good at being yourselves, and just loving yourself and spending time with people who love and respect you and you feel good around, and that's going to be what counts, and that's going to be the best Christmas and gift of all that you can give yourself. All right, Taurus, love and light always. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button.